Had somebody told me before graduating, things would have turned out a little bit differently for me because
Now listen, daughter, pay attention, pray and listen, hear your father.
hey, what's good? Welcome to my channel. If you are seeing this face for the very first time, my name is Shella, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate it. All of you are most welcome here. Now, today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 tips that I wish I knew while I was still a student at the University of Johannesburg. Now, I went to UJ and I studied law. LLB was what I was studying, and today I am an admitted attorney. But I feel like had I known certain things before graduating, things would have turned out a little bit differently. So today I just want to share with you what I wish I knew then that I know now, and I hope that this will help you. And let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. First thing, I wish I had known that my marks mattered after university. Now, this came as a huge shock when I graduated. I just thought, just go to school, get this degree over and done with, and, as long as I've got that, that paper, that degree, that's it. And that is incorrect. I was so shocked to find out that your marks actually matter when you are looking for a job, especially articles of clerkship. Some firms still require you to provide your full academic transcript, and then even for more junior roles, like if you want to apply to be a junior lawyer, like after you finished your articles, if you want to apply to be a junior lawyer, I've seen that most vacancies will require you to put your full academic transcript. And I'm like, that first page of like the top part of the academic transcript, my academic transcript, if I'm being honest, is not the best reflection of who I am. Because in my first year of study, I was so busy with so many things that had I known that my academic record was so important, I would have put my shoulder to the wheel from the get-go. Like in varsity, I'm not making excuses, but like in varsity in my first year, I was in res. Like that was the time when res still had like these many res activities. So we had like all these wild things to do for res. I was a first year in university, like I'm trying to adapt to that, trying to adapt living on my own and all of that, living in a different city. There was just a lot that was happening, and I tried to put my best in every activity that was there. But man, had I known that my academic record was so important, I think I could have done better, in all honesty. So the first thing that I wish I knew was that your academic record matters. So make that document look beautiful by getting really good marks. Number 2, studying law is not the same as practicing law. Now, I will explain. In school, you study law in topics. So you will have your family law module, you will have your commercial law module, you will have constitutional law, you will have human rights. So you study it topically. When you write exams, you write topically. You are asked questions topically as per the module. Now, when practicing law, it's not like that. You might get a client who wants to institute divorce proceedings, and you're thinking, divorce, I know the Divorce Act, I'm good. And then you'll be surprised that in most cases, there's no clear-cut answer. Yes, you might know the Divorce Act from front to back, you might know how it applies, but you find that in that particular case, there's also immigration law that's involved, there's also commercial law that's involved in those proceedings, there's also property law. You have to have knowledge, like you need to have holistic knowledge. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you study in law, like I said, you're doing it topically, but in practice, it's like everything infused in one. So when you study in university, put it in the back of your mind that every single thing that you are learning, there's going to be times where you're gonna have to refer to one or other thing that you never thought you would refer to, because that's just how it is in practice. In practice, there's rarely a one clear-cut answer. There's always bits and pieces of different types of different topics of law that we engage, or different areas of law that you have to dig into in order to find one answer. You can dig into areas of law like that you didn't even think you would dig into just for a divorce proceeding. You would never think that you'd have to look at the United Nations Charter. You'd never think of those things, especially when there's like international international citizens involved and all of that. You'd never think you would have to engage in that. So when you study, make sure that you study holistically and that you take this course holistically as well. Don't just spot like modules that you like. I know sometimes, we do that, but don't just like focus on the ones that you actually like, the modules that you actually like. Study this holistically, because you might need to refer to certain parts of law that you didn't even think you'd have to refer to. Number 3, you choose your employer just as much as your employer chooses you. Now, what do I mean? I mean that it's your responsibility to make sure that you choose the best place for you to do your articles or any other job that you might be interested in. Now, I'll use the example of articles because, like I said, I'm an attorney, so I did articles. So when you are applying for your articles and you choose a firm, understand that the firm's reputation is going to follow you for a while. Let's say you did your articles at ABC Attorneys. The reputation of ABC Attorneys is going to follow you. So if ABC Attorneys is known for being incompetent, is always in trouble with the Legal Practice Council, ABC Attorneys never replies to emails, they have bad reviews online, that follows you, because obviously that will be on your CV, and when you try to apply for jobs and people see where you come from, they sort of associate the culture of that firm, ABC Attorneys, to you, as if you are running the whole show. Like, in all honesty, that bad reputation really does follow you. So as much as you want to be chosen by the employer, you also choose your employer. If you are looking for a firm and you find that these people are just shady, or like they are not a firm that you'd want to be associated with, I would rather say that don't associate with them. I know that finding articles of clerkship can be a problem, but read these things first, because you don't want to have that reputation following you around for a while in your career. Number 4, don't let your qualification be the only thing that you leave with when you leave university. I've said this before in my previous video that I will also link in the description box, that the qualification is not just the only thing you should be leaving with. You should leave with connections, friends, skills. You should leave a better person, a more refined person, a more refined version of yourself. And don't neglect the friends and connection part of things, because the people that you went to university with, chances are you guys are going to start articles around about the same time. You guys are going to be facing the same struggles around about the same time. And not only that, these people are going to be your lifelong colleagues. Some people might be branching out to other practices of law that you are not in. Like, for example, if you are an attorney and your friends branch out to be advocates, some are going to be judges one day, some are going in another area. These are people that you will need. It will be so helpful to know them, because connections really truly get you to places that your qualification can't. And number 5, the last thing I wish I knew while studying, is that getting into a top 5 law firm is not the end of the world. I thought top 5 law firm or nothing, and I'm not saying don't aspire to get into a top 5 law firm. Please, by all means, aspire to get into a top 5 law firm. It's a great aspiration to have, but not getting in doesn't make you a failure. So many people have practiced in smaller areas or did their articles in smaller firms, and they are doing amazing work. I know so many people that I went to varsity with who started out in small law firms, and now they're running their own law firms and they're doing so well. I think one of the biggest advantages of working in a small law firm is that it actually equips you so much that I feel like you'll be more confident running your own law firm than you would if you were in a big law firm. It's really rare to find people who have worked in law firm, like big top 5 law firms, to branch out and open their own law firms in like the next 2-3 years in their careers, like so early in their careers. I don't know if it's job security maybe, but with big law firms, what I see is that they will have you in a department, so you'll work in a certain department, as opposed to when you're in a small law firm, all the departments are yours. You know what's happening with the filing, You know what's happening with the consultations, you know what's happening with divorces, you know what's happening on property law, you literally know what's happening in every area of law that the firm is involved in. And you're also to a certain extent exposed to the running of the firm. You have that relationship, as opposed to in a big law firm you have, like, big departments like HR and the like. These are not people that you can just go and chill with the whole day because you've got work to do. But in a smaller law firm, there are advantages. Now, I'm not bashing big law firms. Please don't misunderstand this. I'm just saying that not getting into a top 5 law firm really isn't the end of the world. And if you look at the advantages of a small law firm, it will also make you to not dread landing up in a smaller sized law firm, because it will also work to your benefit, also depending on what your career goals and aspirations are. And that is it. Please look a little bit down and see if you have liked this video. If you haven't, please like this video. And I know a lot of you are not subscribed. You're watching this and you're not subscribed. Please look down and hit that subscribe button. It will really, really help me a lot. And that is it. And until my next video, I'm sending you tons of love and light. And I wish you all of the very best in your studies. May God crown all your efforts. Till my next video. Bye.